All right, we are live. Okay. I am going to need clean water again, though, probably. Yeah, we might be okay. Okay, we're going to get set up. Hello, everyone. Untangle. We are running a little late today. It was very, very busy at the store, which is great. Thank you guys all for calling and stopping by. We've been talking to a lot of you guys today and seeing a lot of you. So we are just trying to get logged in here. I'm not even on Facebook yet, it seems. Okay.
She wants on a sewing break.
She's on a sewing break.
Kevin Boyer, Brooks, an assistant.
Oh, that's you.
Captain McCluskey, Elizabeth Tilton.
Can you guys hear him? He's saying hi in the background because I'm not logged in yet. Oh, I love it. I love it. I have the best assistant. He's really good. But only on Thursdays.
This POP Bigfoot is fucking alive.
The what?
This Bigfoot is lovely. I love it.
The Bigfoot. He's got a flower today. He's very flower powery. All right.
Hi, Shirley. Shirley Shaw.
Hi, Shirley. I should give him a microphone too. He could he could take the job of the initial because he can get logged in a lot faster than me.
Apparently Kevin Boyer can hear me. Hello,
Oh.
Kevin.
Say it again.
Hello, Kevin. Vicky. Hello, Vicky.
Oh.
Kathy. Hello. Delane. Hello, Delane. Sue. Hi, Sue. Judy.
Oh. He's doing such a good job.
Cheryl Healy. Hello, Cheryl. Elizabeth from Arizona. Hello, love.
Oh, and there's my dad.
Scrap.
Hey, Scraps.
Scrap the pat.
Okay, I need the light.
Oh, you need that, huh?
I do. Alrighty. Now that my assistant has gotten all the hellos. Alrighty. You can just set it up. Okay. So it was a bit chaotic here at the store today. Lots of fun. We talked to a lot of people. Thank you. Oh, good gosh. Here I was giving you credits, and then you almost take out the whole show.
Sorry.
Oh, and then he puts on silent mode. So maybe just, yeah. Hold on a minute, guys. There we go. I think... There we go. Can you guys hear me? I got this microphone on. It might be enough. We'll put this on. We will have him not touch the phone anymore. Laura says, don't kill Bigfoot. So, okay, you guys. So, I decided today that we were going to do something fun that is a little bit out of my wheelhouse. So I wanted to do, for those of you guys that know me, know I'm not a watercolorist. And so I wanted to do these beautiful stamps from Hero Arts, and they have a matching die for them. We have a number of bundles available for the stamps and dies. And it's only $18 for both, the stamp and the die. But I wanted to take that image and show you guys how easy it is to watercolor with the Color Burst. They're so easy, and I do not watercolor because I really like... I was just talking to my assistant there, telling him how much I loved yesterday's project because it was a measuring project, and I love measuring. So the things that are a little more free-form, like watercolor, I like getting messy and stuff like that too, but watercolor, I find it's harder for me to control, and sometimes that can be a little bit not as relaxing as other people find it. So, but I gave these ones a try, and I'll show you guys. This was my first one, and it's actually not bad. My first one right out of the box. I like it. I really like it, and I'll show you the technique that I use to make this pretty successful, and then you guys can try it with what you have. A number of episodes ago, we did some other stuff with the color burst, and we had quite a few people take us up on this bundle. So we had this bundle of 5 color bursts, and the bundle was how much? That would be he'll hear me when the comments come through. Assistant. Yeah. He's busy eating. He didn't get me anything to eat for lunch, but I can see he's over there busy eating. How much was the bundle? No, for the color burst.
20.
Is that right? He's going to do the research on that. Anyways, and then by the end of the show, I'll have him bring over some of the other colors that we have in stock so that you guys can see, because I really think that this technique is super, super awesome. So, okay, let me just get set up. Honestly, you guys, I didn't have a lot of time to prep for this one today, so I apologize in advance for the situation here that we're just about coming into. So, I need a cutter. I am tethered. Okay, so it turns out when he's eating, he's a little less responsive. So we may have to do a few calls out to the assistant to get things done today. I can see that happening. He still doesn't hear me. I'm talking totally about him, and he still doesn't hear me. Okay. Alrighty. So, I'm going to just cut this one to, like, how big did I do this one earlier? Let's see. A 4 by 5, something like that. Okay. And the size doesn't super duper matter. So this is I just had my mixed media pad that we've been using for the last week and a half. I had that handy. A smooth watercolor paper would work really nice for this as well. So I'm just doing a 4 by 5. You don't necessarily have to, the size doesn't matter really that much. And this is the one that I did just the last one, and I die cut out of it. So if I were to do this again, I probably could just stamp like the thin little guy right here and save some of those scraps. It didn't probably need to be that wide, but you know, it is what it is. So, all right. So I'm good right now. I have everything I need. Thank you. Thank you. Except cold coffee. All right. So I'm going to just let me just sort of walk you through this process. So I'm going to put this one here. I did not clean my stamps from earlier though, so I may want to do that real quick. Hold on a second. Nothing like watching somebody get caught up on the crafting they were supposed to be doing. So sorry about that, you guys. Okay. Oh, there he is. Thank you. And it's low sugar. So we're trying to be good while we're on quarantine. Could I have that heated just a smidge? So we are, we're doing our very, very best to do well with our eating while we're on quarantine, although it is really, really difficult because, you know, those snacks. Yes, selective hearing. It is true. Hi, Sue. How are you? Well, Sue, you might even be a better watercolorist than me, but we're gonna do the we're gonna work our way through this. So, okay, so I'm just going to place these guys here and here. Give myself some room. Then I'm going to close it. Now I forgot that magnet thing. That's all right. I'm going to use the VersaFine Clear. Thanks. The VersaFine Clear today. Any real watercolor or any ink that you have that on the back side says is good for watercoloring will work for this technique. So this one says perfect for using watercolors to color stamped images. I was also looking at my VersaFine pad earlier, and I think that would work. Oh, it's upside down. Sorry, you guys. So let's just stamp this up. And I feel like I should have watched like a Bob Ross before this or something so that I could have that tone of voice that as we're painting is very calming and you just want to kind of work along with him. But I don't really have that. So. All right. So I'm going to set that off to the side to be cleaned later, actually. So when I want to clean something later, I'll just stick garbage paper in there because I still want to protect my sticky grid that's in there. And I don't want ink all over it, so that way it'll just stamp any extras on there. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to zap it with my heat tool real quick. And while we do that, I am starving, so. And he brought me the granola bar, so I guess how can I not eat it, right? It seems like that would be so rude. Okay. Can you look up the price of the bundle for sure on the Color Burst? Okay. You guys can't hear me chewing, can you? Okay. So I'm going to use this palette here. And you can see I was already busy, but we didn't have time to clean this one out. The colors that I found that I used for the tulips were Wisteria, Naples Yellow, and this Sap Green. And what you want to have handy is you want to have a clean paper towel. You want to have some clean water with some detail brushes. We have these really nice sets that came in recently that have a whole bunch of different brushes in them. And I'll show you guys those at the end of the thing because my assistant has to kind of accumulate some stuff to show you guys what we have available. Is that what it was? We'll do some research. Yeah. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put it dry into the palette. And actually, this is just remnants, but it is all dry in there. So I'm just going to take and I'm going to tap a little bit in. There's already some in there probably from last time, but I'm going to take some green, which I'm not sure. There's still some in there. And the thing I love about Color Burst is they are so color rich that it's like crazy. And you get, actually because you use so little, you get quite a bit in the bottle. Okay, so I'm going to just set that off to the side. I've got some clean water here. And what I found is that I have one brush that I keep clean, and then I have one brush that I use for the color. So this is what works for me. And I've seen Ken Oliver do this with his Color Burst. And I haven't quite nailed it as good as he does. He has it down to a science, but it is his product. So we're going to try, this is how to do it as a newbie. So what you want to do is you want a nice wet brush, and so there, so you can kind of see. And then I'm going to just color in one petal at a time, and I'm going to make basically a puddle on there. So hopefully you can kind of see that. You sort of have to work fast, but not incredibly fast. This brush is wet, so I'm just going to dry pick up some of that stuff, and then I'm just going to touch it onto the edge of that water, okay? And as much as you want to put in here, the water itself is going to have a little bit of movement to it. So it's going to move around, and it's going to give you this cool watercolor effect on the petal that you couldn't necessarily get if you tried to make the water do what you wanted it to do. Then what I found is I dried it a little bit. Now I may have a little bit different effect on this one just because I held it up to the camera, so it throws my timing off a little. So, and then I dab it off. But let's say I want to retry this one. So I'm going to just put the water puddle back on here. Okay. Just like that. And then I'm going to take this brush here that's filled with color, and I'm going to bring it back in. And now I'm going to give it just a little bit dry. I am not fully drying it. I'm just giving it just a little bit of heat so that the ink will, the pigments will stick to that paper just a smidge, and then I'm going to tap it off. I can always come back later if I want to get more color in there. So, but what I find is that you don't want to do wet petals right next to each other. You want to give this one just a minute to kind of set because it will transfer even though I've tapped it off. So I'm going to move to my other flower. And I'm going to make that puddle, and I know that I want to get a little bit darker color in this one. So I'm going to take it just like this. It's so pretty, and actually, surprisingly, yeah? Who's calling me? Yeah. Yeah, it would. Oh, yeah. Well, they can hear you, I think. Yeah. So Shirley, yes, embossing the black would keep the colors inside the petals. And sometimes you do want to do that, but I didn't today. Yeah, that would have been a really good thing to do, but here we are. Good idea. And then what you get with that is you get a glossy line around your tulip. But this technique, for those of you guys that have wanted to kind of try, say, like that no-line coloring that's really popular right now, this is the technique. You wouldn't emboss with the no-line coloring, but you could do this technique that we're doing, and it's pretty similar to how a lot of the good people on YouTube are doing it. That is not me. Just remember, that is nowhere near me. But I find that I was pretty happy with my tulip that I did this afternoon, which is good because we ran out of time to come up with another project. So I was really happy that our tulip turned out. But my assistant, he was coming up with something. I don't know. So we might see whatever he was planning in. He's been really great at actually helping me try to figure out some of these projects. So I don't know what he has planned for you tomorrow, but I do think you're going to want to tune in. We'll see if he wants to share it with me later. I think he's got something cooking up in that head of his, which is awesome. I like it. If I don't have to do all the thinking, it's awesome. So, oh, maybe we should have him do the demo tomorrow. Huh? No-line coloring, it's no-line watercoloring is what it is. And that is basically, can you grab me that amalgam ink? Well, where all the amalgam inks are? We just have a couple. So what it is you take a color that's very light, like, and we'll show you. Because I know people are using these two here. Yeah. I need this and the little gray cube. Okay. Hang on one sec. We'll get back to that question. Just 1 second. This is a timing situation. Yes, please. Yes. Uh-oh. Oh, uh-oh. I think it's been voted. You might be doing the demo tomorrow. Oh, that makes me even happier. Oh, I love you guys. I feel like you're on my side. Yes. So, okay, so the no-line coloring, this one just needs, somehow all that color went away. Okay, so what you would do is instead of stamping in black, you would stamp in one of these colors, or something very light that is a watercoloring color. Now, we have a couple of these in stock, but we don't have many. So this one is like Whisper, and this one I think is called Barely There. And what it does is it gives you the outline to see where you're coloring, but by the time you do most of the watercoloring, you don't see the lines anymore. So the actual shading, like of what we're doing here, defines the defines your image. But here's the thing that I have found. I'm not quite good enough with all of my shading to get the colors where I want them for no line watercoloring to make them look great. I have seen there are a number of people who have who shop here that have shown me their things, and they are far, far better than me. Donna might even be better. I don't know if she's tried it yet, but she's really the one, like when we do watercoloring classes, she's much, much better at it than me. But I wanted to do this today because I know we've done a lot of techniques, and I wanted you guys to see that sometimes you just have to try something to see if you're going to be good at it or you're going to like the results. And I really did quite like the results of this one that I made this morning. So, oops, I think I forgot to dab that guy. There we go. He's a little darker. So I'm going to let that one set for a second. See, we're almost done actually with the tulips, especially this little guy. So what I would say is if you wanted to, you could, you could take a peek at some no line watercoloring samples online. You would see a ton of choices or samples and kind of see what it is. But for practice, it's really quite handy to have this. Oh, see? Okay, when I did it this afternoon, I didn't have to talk at the same time, and it turns out that might be the secret to me being better at this watercoloring, is to be able to like kind of think. And but what I did find is my assistant was busy answering the phone and doing all that stuff while I was trying to get this together, and I actually found it relaxing, which surprised me a little bit. So I might try this with a few other things and see if I can be also good at other stamps or if I just got lucky today. And I might have just gotten lucky. The ink that I showed you, it's not all of the Gina K inks. It was, I have one of the beige ink pads left, Kathy, so we will put that on hold for you. Did you take them back? This one? Okay. Let's see, did I dab those? Okay. And, but what you want is you want a pad that just says, it's good for watercolor. So the very best way, those Nocturne or the VersaFine Clairs are good for watercolor. We are not able at the moment, because of what's going on, we're not able to get any more Gina K stuff in. She's not shipping to us. So she's not able to ship to us, I should say. So what we have is kind of what we have. But actually the VersaFine Clair, I think we have some more Nocturne coming in. I'm not 100% sure on that because Imagine Crafts, who is over in Redmond, is actually completely closed right now. So they're not shipping at all. So whatever's out at the various other places that I can order it is what we can get. But other than that, I'm not really sure that we're going to be well stocked on that too, which is such a bummer because it's so awesome. Anyways, so here is what my tulip looks like. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh man. It makes me so happy. Every tulip is going to be a little bit different. And so then I wanted to show you guys kind of how I did. I wanted to stick within these 5 colors that we did that bundle for, because I know a number of you guys got those colors, but we also have this bundle available. Were you able to do the research on it? Why don't you just look at who got these and go look at what the bundle price was? Huh? Take one. Scan it. No, we put them in. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. One of these days. Like yesterday, we were super prepared. Today, not quite as much. So, okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing on the stem. And with the stem, it's a little bit different because I have this beautiful bright spring green. And I really, really like it, but it's bold. So I'm going to take these two here, and I'm going to pick up some of that green. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, oops, you really have to make sure that you have all the water that you need to, because otherwise it gets really dark. So you're going to just tap it. I just tapped it kind of along the edge of the stem and let it just kind of flow. And then what I did is I picked up a little bit of the yellow, and I just tapped the yellow on kind of this outer edge where I wanted it to just have a little bit extra of a tone. You just kind of have to, because we talked about this, I think on the alcohol ink episode where we did the wildflowers, that these darker colors just kind of swallow up the yellow. And it happens with this stuff too. So you want to make sure that you have enough room for the yellow if you want to add it in. So I'm just kind of going back and softening that a little bit. And then down here it seems like it got a little bit less green. Okay. So that's what my stem looks like. It's really quite pretty. Now I'm going to do the leaves. Do you guys find that my voice is as calming as Bob Ross? He also will tell you that, although he was much, much better than I was, but that anybody could do it. And I really do believe that anybody can do this, because if I can do it, seriously, you too can do it. There is no getting around that, because this is not my forte. So. So let me just, sorry. It's kind of hard to think and talk at the same time when I'm doing this one. This is one of the more challenging demos that I've done, I think, for me personally. Not challenging skill-wise, just challenging for me as an artist, because it's kind of a new thing for me. So, oh geez. Okay, whoever got one of those bundles, will you guys do me a favor? Will you comment? Because I know somebody on here got one of those bundles, so he can go and look and find out what the bundle price was. I could go look it up, but I don't have, you know. He could lull you to sleep. Bob Ross or my assistant? Okay, so what I found here is that I've gotten myself a bit of a mess. So I'm going to, I'll show you what I did earlier, and I really quite like this. I just took a clean brush, although I have really a lot of yellow in my water now, and I just kind of did a little bit of a puddle there, and after, it's kind of like working with Copics. Plus I'm going to cut this out with a die cut machine. It's not that big of a deal, but I thought this worked pretty well if the color isn't, and your water isn't yellow, which is part of my problem. But you'll see it's coming up just a little bit, and you don't need it necessarily to come up all the way, but a little bit is nice. So I like how my leaf now has come out, and Barb Richards got the bundle. Thanks, Barb. Does that help you, assistant? It's a team effort over here. I appreciate that. All right. Oh, you know what would have been fun? Well, to test this with the Northwoods paper too. Another day. Another test on another day. Okay. 22 for the bundle.
Carrie Hale had it right.
Okay. Thank you, Carrie. Oh, I didn't even know people were already. You guys are great. Awesome. So all 5 colors for 22, and perhaps my assistant could grab some of the other colors. So that's those 5 colors, and I'll re-show them to you. And then we have other colors available that you could add on if you wanted, or if you just needed to supplement what you already have at home. So again, I'm just adding some of this yellow here to brighten up some of the spots on my stem so that it's not so green. All right. Now I'm going to dry this. I'm good with this. I'm liking this a lot. I'm done watercoloring, so I'm going to put all of my brushes back in my cup. I'll hand them off to my assistant when he comes over with some stuff. And then we will move on to the die cutting portion of today's project. And we are almost done, actually. So the stamp set, while I dry this, I'll let you guys look at the stamp set. The stamp set says, happy birthday, you have my love, hello, and love you. So these are, it's nice, and I actually am using the hello stamp for this one. And I'm going to be using a penny black die that we haven't used yet in these particular episodes. So again, just in case I didn't show you, these are the colors of the bundle for 22. And then, so the dies here, the dies cut, if you want them, there's actually this extra die here that you could cut an extra leaf out of. Does it match this leaf? I don't know what it matches at. Oh, there's a whole nother leaf stamp. Okay, so you could do that. I did not. Okay, so let me match this one right up here. And I'm going to take some of my maker's tape. It's all in a bundle, but that's okay. A big wad is what it's in. That's from earlier. So, and then so these ones have a nice opening, and it's pretty easy to just line them up. Okay, and then I'm going to hand these off to my assistant, who I think is making his way over here. If not, we're all just going to kind of sit here and wait till he does make his way over here. That's not the one that I stamped earlier, though. There it is. Okay, so the die, I'm going to need you to pop on over here, because we're all just going to kind of sit here and stare at this for a minute till you make it over this way. So the die set that we're going to use is this beautiful die set from Penny Black, and it makes these gorgeous frames. So, oh, it's all in presentation. Here we go. Here we go, my friends. Okay. Ta-da! Thank you. Okay, can you die cut this one, and then can you hand me that little, oh, sorry. I'm no good at this. And can you hand me that Penny Black die? Yeah. Hey, be careful. I have those perfectly taped, you little stinker. All right. Oh. He's got one thing that makes him really happy in this assistant job. And it's that Bigfoot tray. So anyway, so this is the die that comes from Penny Black, and it does these beautiful, beautiful frames, and you have this little bit of foliage right here in the middle. So even this little tiny one is perfect for a mini sentiment. Thank you. Thank you. Well, okay. So I'm going to use the biggest one. And is there a card base over there? Could you maybe cut me another big one? I already got black on this one somehow. It's probably right there, right there, right there. So I'm going to send this off to him while he does that, and you'll have to clean it out. But what happened is when I tried something earlier, I actually just got a little bit of smudge on here. And since I know this card is going to be pretty when I'm done, I want it to actually be nice. Now, I did already stamp my sentiment. That was earlier because I was going to try to have a finished card for you before the demo, but that didn't happen. So in the interest of time, I put it in the Misty. I lined it up. I'll show you kind of what I did. I did it flat, and I put the sentiment on here while it was in the Misty. I just put this on here while it was flat. I didn't glue anything down, and I tucked this guy right in here so that I could kind of see where my tulips were going to go, and then I stamped my sentiment just to, you know, get an idea. it seemed easier. I tried it with another way and it didn't work. So thank you. Thank you. All right. Perfect. So let me grab this guy here. This is the big one that we're going to use. Can I trouble you for a package of the dies for the tulips? Okay, and then some of the packages of brushes in case people need those too. We'll show them those. Yeah, you got a little dent. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to do this one right here, like this. And then these are the tulips that we just did. Now we get to vote. Do we like this set of tulips or do we like the other set of tulips? All right. Oh, I do think I like that tulip. Okay, and then which one of these tulips do you guys like? Wow, they both turned out so good. I'm so proud of myself. Which one, the left or the right? It's hard to know, right? They're so pretty. Yeah. You guys can decide. I'm going to grab my glue bottle here. And just going to glue this guy. I am going to leave just a little bit down at the bottom because I know I have to tuck those stems in there. So, isn't this a beautiful frame set? I think they really, really nailed it with this one. Really nice. Now with all of the penny black frame dies, it's made in America steel, but they are a little bit more on the expensive side. I think they're slightly under $40 or something. What's Aw, is today Earth Day? Was it today or yesterday? Oh, well, happy Earth Day, my friends. Maybe we're a day late. You think the left one? Okay. Oh, right, left. Oh, dear. Okay. We've got a left, right. Oh my gosh, you guys are totally split right down the middle. Okay, I'm gonna let my assistant pick. You choose. What? Oh. He will not take anything from me unless we use his serving tray. What is it that you want? You tell me which one you want. I don't know. All right, he's decided on this one. Okay, so that was like more work to make that one decision than the whole project. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here, and I'm going to tuck this one, assuming that I still kept it as the open end here at the bottom. I think I did. Okay. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to tuck it right in like that. And then this one is going to go over here. Now, had I actually done the leaf for this one, you could also tuck the leaves in there, but I didn't. So this is what we've got for today. So, and then this card is done. But don't you guys find that's easy? It's an easy, approachable way to do this kind of watercoloring. And like, I feel like anybody could really be successful with this. I love this sticker. It's very sticky though. Okay. So there we go. And that is our card project for today. Gorgeous, isn't it? Let me hold it up. I am really, really proud of this one, actually. And that's partly because I tried something outside of my box. So I'm very happy on the inside. Okay, so this is your bundle, if you guys decide you need it. And we used Wisteria Sap Green and Naples Yellow. So that is 22 for those guys. But let me show you some of the other colors that we have. It's also, this is your Tulip bundle. And it was 18 for the stamp and the die. And I believe we have 5 in stock. And that might be all we've got. So, but we may be able to get more. Not sure. So be sure to reserve yours if you want one. So these are some of the other colors that we have. We have Prussian blue. We have ochre yellow. It's what? Oh, how do you pronounce it? Osher? Osher? Uh-oh. I don't know. You might, Osher? I didn't say ogre. I said okra. Well, let's just pretend that we're going to move on from that, because I think I don't have any concept of how to pronounce that. And even if you guys were to type it to try to help me. Okay, so we've got gamboge, we've got violet, we've got terrestrial, and actually I'm going to set terrestrial off to the side because I do want to tell you something about that. We've got deep space, we've got another deep space for some reason. We've got a lemon yellow, that one is a really pretty one. Phthalo green, turquoise, you can't go wrong with a turquoise. Ochre, that's exactly what I said. I didn't say ogre. Oh. Thank you, Elizabeth. And yes, clearly it was the British pronunciation, because... Okay, so, and then we have solar flare and terrestrial. So, there's a lot of colors that we have in stock, besides just the ones in the bundle, if you want single colors to fill things in. And this particular set right here, Deep Space, Terrestrial, Solar Flare, and Jupiter, these ones came out as a limited edition. We only have a handful of each colors. They were a limited edition that he put out in a night sky set, and you can kind of tell based on the names of the colors. So these ones are relatively new colors and gorgeous if you like to do the tap and sprinkle kind of thing to make your night skies. So we also have some sets of brushes, but he didn't bring those over, so you'll just have to maybe trust me on that. Or maybe he's coming. I don't know. So, let's see. I think that is what we had today. So let's kind of review what I have within my reach. This beautiful penny black die, I think, was the other thing I needed to review. This one. Are you gonna? You could just show them to me. Yeah, that's fine. Are you just gonna give me one option? No? Just a couple that would work for this project. Okay, so this die here, I don't know what it's called, but if you called it the, I don't know, the framey frame, that's not even, I guarantee you that is not the name of this die. Oh boy. Okay. It was a lot of work to get these brushes to be able to show you. Thank you. So these brushes here, and these brushes, they're only $12.99 for the set, but there's a number of other sets we have as well. But they're nice brushes, and you do get a lot of those small tips in there. And I was pretty impressed. When we first got these in, I wanted to make sure to open them to make sure that they would work for some of our projects. And for $12.99 for that many brushes, I think it's quite a good deal. So, anyways, that is now officially everything we had to show you guys today, and probably more than we were even thinking of. So, thank you all for joining me, and the team thanks you. And we, the team, I'm supposed to air quotes, the team, my screen is only like this big. And we had a lot of fun with you today. It was quite an adventure to try and do this project. So thank you all for joining us at 2. Have a wonderful, wonderful night, and we will see you again here tomorrow afternoon. All right. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.